Hello and welcome to part 28 of this puzzle run series on chess.com, where I will solve these puzzles and you can follow along and try to solve them with me. If you need more time for a particular puzzle, just pause the video. If not, let's solve these puzzles together, and I will try and explain what I'm thinking as I try and find the answers for these puzzles along with you. All right, this first puzzle, we have black, and white has just put us in check here. It looks like we have more material. We're ahead by 2 pawns, but the problem is that we're in check here. So obviously we have to move out of check. And whenever you're in check, there are 3 options. Capture the attacker, which we cannot do. Block the attacker, which we cannot do, or run away. So it looks like we have to run, but where is the best position? So we cannot move forward, so we have to move to the side. But what is the best move here? Let's see. Well, it looks like wherever we move, he will be able to check us again. And so that would be the problem. So maybe we want to move our king away somewhere where it will pull the queen away from the defense of his king, and then we will be able to use our queen to check on d1. So let's see. That looks like the only way that we can check his king. So it looks like once we do that, how will he block? So this one is kind of tricky. I mean, we only have 4 moves that we could choose from. Moving the king, to the E file here or the G file. So after we move our king, he will be able to check us again. So let's say we move here to the G file, and he checks us by moving here. Let's see. And then he would be able to swing back down to here. Well, if we just move to the side, let's see. Okay, well, this eliminates, if we move here to G5, that would be a bad move because he could just checkmate us right here, and we would be trapped on G5 because of our pawns. So we don't want to go there. Let's see. If we go here to E5, he could check us and pick off a pawn. So if we go to G6, once again, he could check us on the G file. So if he checked us on the G file, then if we tried to run down here, he could just check us again. So perhaps we have to run in this direction. Let's see. This is just a tricky one, so I hope you're having an easier time with this than me. So we definitely cannot go to G5 because that would lead to a checkmate. So that narrows down the options to either G6, E6, or E5. Let's see. E5. E5, he could pick off one of our pawns. So maybe g6 or e6. e6, he could pick off a pawn. But if we go to g6, he'll just check us on the g file. And then, let's say he checked us here. That would force us down to the 7th rank here, or black's 2nd rank. And then he would be able to check us down there. And that could just lead to him just checking us back and forth in a draw, possibly. So maybe we have to go in this direction. If he checks us and takes this pawn, then we could check his king. I don't know. I'm thinking we have to go in this direction. So if he checks us, and then we have to move. Let's say we have to move to here. He could check us again. Then if we had to move to here, it looks like he could just check us all around the board. Let's see, check. So king to e6, he could check us here on queen to e3. Then if we run, he could check us again, which would send us back up to here. He could just check us back and forth, so that's not looking too good. All right, what if we go here and he checks us? And then if we move here and he checks us, and then we go back up to here, I don't know. So I'm going to think king to e6 is where we have to go, but I don't know. This one's pretty tricky, so good luck on this one. All right, so that was the right answer. And I think it was the right answer because now if we go here and he checks us down on a7, then we can just jump back up here and he won't be able to check us again. See, he could pick off this pawn. All right, so then there. Man, I got lucky on that one. So what that did was pull his queen away far enough where he can't go back up here and check us again. So he ran out of checks, and now that will give black time to possibly check him. So once we go here, what is his best move? I mean, he could move up here to try and start checking us again and to protect his king. But we could just pick off this pawn. Maybe he would move here to protect this pawn, but we could push this one forward and use our pawn majority to start marching up the board. All right. Well, let's try another one here. Okay, the knight has just moved here to d5. Did he capture a piece? All right, well, what do we do here? It looks like we have a queen, so we're ahead in material with this queen. What would be best? Pawn-wise, we're behind 2 pawns. So they have a knight, a bishop, and 2 pawns, a total of 8 points worth of material, or the equivalent of 8 pawns, to our queen, which is worth 9 pawns. So we're ahead slightly by approximately 1 pawn. But how can we gain some type of advantage here? Let's see. And there's a threat here. The knight is threatening to fork our king and queen here. So that is something to watch out for sure. Uh, so maybe the king should just move onto this dark square. If the king moves onto this dark square, then the knight can still move here and then fork our rook and queen here. So now, do we sacrifice our queen here? If we sacrifice our queen, we get this knight and bishop, but then we would just be behind by 2 pawns. So that would be no good. And this check is a big problem. So maybe move off. So then if the knight forks us, well, then the queen would have to move. He could capture this rook. But then after that, let's see, would black be ahead in material by 1 pawn's worth of material? All right. Well, I think probably bringing the rook up here to E. Oh, well, I don't know if that would work either. If we bring the rook up here, okay, that would work. If the bishop tried to pin the rook to the queen, we could just capture the knight here. So that's probably the move. Rook to E6 here. That way if the knight moves here, we can capture. But then we'll have a possible check by the queen or the rook. It kind of opens up the center on the king. So, maybe that's the best move, is to move this rook up to here. Oh, nope. Okay, they do not want that one. All right. Okay. Well, very interesting. Do not like that. Well, maybe we just move the king. I don't know. Usually they want something, kind of crazy. Okay. The problem is this knight check here. So we either have to move the king. Okay, I already got the problem wrong, so I'll try to move the king. They don't like that. Okay, the other option is to give up your queen for the knight and the bishop, but then we'll have a rook here. But then what? Do we attack this pawn? I don't know. Then we're just behind in material here. Huh. I don't know here. Maybe we just have to move the queen to here. No. All right, no, I'm just having trouble with this. So we probably have to move the queen somewhere. Maybe we go up here. Nope. Okay, so I'm just having trouble with this one. I hope you found a better answer than I did. Okay. So this is the problem. Knight to f6, forking the queen, the rook, and the king. So do we move the king here? No. Move the king. No, we don't want to move it there. Okay. Well, then probably have to move the queen. All right, I do not know. I might have to look for an answer on this one. Okay, what about that? No. Um, hmm. What could we do here? Can't go there. Doesn't want us to go there. Okay, well. No. I don't know. I just don't know what they want us to do in this position. This is just a very difficult one, I think. All right. Well, I might have to just find the answer because I don't know. I mean, what options do we have here? And this is just taking way too long already. So I'm sorry for dragging the viewer into this long problem with no answer so far. I mean, we have to move the queen, but where do you move it? I guess. Move the queen somewhere. No. Everywhere we want to try, nothing works. Okay, I don't know what. So they want us to move the queen, so we were right about that, but where? Where do you move the queen to? That doesn't work. What about here? They want us to move there? Oh, okay, I overlooked something. With the queen here, I should have seen that. Okay, the problem was with the queen here, the knight, if it goes here, the queen can just capture because the king was pinning this pawn. Um, the rook was pinning the pawn to the king when the king was on e1. So if the knight moved here, we could just capture the knight, and the pawn could not take us because it would be pinned. And so that's the odd move. It looks like the bishop would be able to attack, and the knight would just fork the king and rook, and the queen would be captured. But the queen can just capture the knight if it moves there. All right, so I made that more difficult than it actually was. Okay. So now we can just capture that, and then we're just ahead material here. Okay, well, on to the next one. Excuse me. Okay, our knight is under attack. I should have brought some water. Knight under attack with a3. Let's see here. Where do we go? Well, the simple answer is to just move this knight. And it looks like we would have to retreat here. But do we have a counterattack? We could check him with our pawn here. And he would have to run. The bishop is protecting the knight, so he would have to go here or... Oh, that would be a mate. All right. No, he would... Yes. All right. Excuse me. So it's just a mate here. All right. I hope you found that one faster than I did. On to the next one. Okay. Queen is just captured on d5. And what do we have here? Well, we could just capture this knight. Looks like that would work. Capture the knight. Looks like that's the best move. Capture the knight. If the queen tries to check fork our... All right, if we capture the knight with our bishop and the queen tries to fork us here, attacking the bishop and our king, we can block with our queen, and that protects everything. So that looks to be the best move, unless there is a check somewhere that is better. I don't see anything. So it looks like we should just capture. And then now we can block. All right, and now we're forced to recapture. All right, so there we're just ahead. Material, we have an extra bishop. Okay, on to the next problem. Okay, knight has just captured our pawn here on e4. What do we do? Looks like our queen should just recapture. But then what happens? Queen recapture. How will he retaliate if we capture? If we capture with the queen, right. Are there any attacks we have? He could attack us here. Right. I don't know, it looks like that. Okay, now now we could attack the queen and the knight at the same time. Let's see, attack the queen and the knight at the same time. Okay, so here we have a bishop lined up on this diagonal with our queen. So if we attack with our knight, the queen would be able to capture here, but the knight would probably attack us. But we do have a fork here as well. So maybe that is the best move, to just fork the knight and the bishop. All right. Well, now our queen is under attack, so excuse me for my throat. I should have brought water in here. All right. Well, queen is under attack. What do we do next? We could move here, pinning the knight to the queen. Well, the knight would be able to move, and we could just capture. Or do we just counterattack? The bishop could just capture us. We could capture. Or the knight would just capture us. So now if we move the knight, all right, attack the queen. The knight could just recapture. So maybe we have to go here, and the knight would be pinned, but the knight could move. We could attack the queen. All right. Huh. Well, another tricky one. Or do we just capture the knight and we're still attacking the queen? come on. Need a bigger mouse, I think. All right, so now we just take the queen, and we come out a piece ahead in that one. All right, well, I hope you found that. Let's try another one here, and then I'll try and wrap this up. All right, knight to c6. What do we have here? Well, if our knight moves here, attacking the queen, then the queen could move here and defend. But we could attack with a pawn, maybe. No, the knight could capture. All right. All right, let's see. Do we attack the queen with pawns? Well, then the queen could just... Well, the queen cannot go back up this diagonal. The queen cannot go along this b file or here. The queen has one move to go here. Interesting. So that is a possibility to attack this queen, and maybe we can trap the queen. Okay, well, let's take a look first at this knight move. Knight to d5, attacking the queen and threatening a fork here. Okay, well, then the queen can move here and cover that. But we could attack the queen with our bishop. So those are the two options, to either attack the queen with the pawn or with the knight. Now, if we attack with the knight, the queen could move here to a5, protecting the c7 pawn so the knight can't fork the king and the rook. But the queen would also be threatening to capture here and try and attack our king. But the king could escape. Oh, but he would be able to pick off this knight. Well, by then the knight would be able to move with a fork. So maybe the knight move is the best. Let's see. The knight move. Okay, I'll take a quick look at the pawn move before we decide. So a3, the queen cannot escape here or here on b5 or 6 because of the bishop and the queen. The diagonal is cut off because of the rook and the bishop. So that leaves, he can't move along this fourth rank. His only move is here. We can't attack with the pawn because he could just capture this pawn with check. So it looks like the knight move. And that's not what they wanted. Okay, well, I missed that. All right. Well, pawn move. So it was the pawn move. But how do you continue here? All right. Well, I don't see the continuation here. I mean, maybe we keep attacking this queen with a rook like this. Okay. All right. Well, that was difficult. I'll try another problem since I got that one wrong. Okay, I hit the button, but nothing is happening here. And it looks like chess.com froze up on me. Okay, so I had to go back to the beginning here. What is going on here? The puzzles are not... Okay, finally something popped up here. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of trouble with the chess.com froze up there for a second. All right, a knight has just captured here. What can we do? Our bishop is under attack. We have a queen up here that can deliver a check. So maybe that is best. But we have to be careful because black, well, the bishop is covering here. All right. Well, it looks like check. If the king moves here on c7, queen can capture the pawn with check. All right. And would it make any difference if we captured here? Or I mean, if we checked from h8? Not really. And so what if the king, well, the queen could block as well, but then we could still capture this pawn. So what if the king moved here to b, well, the king cannot because of our bishop on f3. And all right, so it looks like that. Then we could capture the pawn. Or do we capture this bishop? No, the bishop's protected. All right, is there anything else we can do here? Do we just capture this pawn? Is that the best move? Capture the pawn. So capture a pawn. Now, what does the material look like? Okay, we would be ahead one pawn here. And we could capture and then pin this. Oh, but then he has a trick here of we could just capture. All right, that looks like the best thing to do is this, and then pin the knight to the king. So the king had to move out of that. And now we can just snatch up this knight here. All right, and then we just go ahead in material. All right, I hope you found that. And I'll try another one since I started out at 2630 and now I'm at 2628. So my puzzle rating went down on this one. Let's see if I can solve this final one here. Okay, king to f1. All right, so this king is moved to f1. What do we do? King to f1. How do we follow up with an attack? Is there even an attack possible here? All right, well, let's look at material. So we have 6 black pawns. White has 7. So white is ahead in pawns. The rest of the material is uneven. It looks like Is black, or excuse me, is white ahead in this? Because we have a knight for a knight, bishop for bishop, and bishop for rook. So white is ahead in this by 3 pawns worth of material. All right, we have this knight. Okay. Excuse me. All right, I think we can. Oh, we do have a problem here. This knight can capture our queen. So let's go ahead and capture this knight with our bishop. Then if he recaptures, we can capture with our knight here, attacking either the bishop or the pawn, depending what this bishop does after we capture the knight. And then we'll have a checkmate threat here with queen and bishop lining up on the king. All right, so first I would say to just do that, and then move this knight out of the way and threaten a mate here on f2. But where's the best place to move this knight? Would it be here to capture a pawn and then go after this rook? Maybe that is best. But is there anything else that we are missing? Let's see. It doesn't appear so. So it looks like we just capture the pawn and attack the rook and threaten a mate here. All right. Okay, so that's interesting. Now he's just blocking. So we can just capture with the bishop and but then if we do that, no, that just makes our threat, renews our threat here. Okay, now we can just capture the queen. All right. And then capture the rook. And we're just ahead in material. All right. Okay, and why did our puzzle rating, did it even go up there at all? All right, I'll try one more problem. Doesn't even look like that puzzle rating moved. Okay, what do we have here? Queen was under attack by the white rook on f1. The queen retreated. So what can we do now? Looks like we have some pieces aimed at the black king. All right. Well, all right. Material. Looks like we're even in material, but our pieces are kind of gathered around black's king. If these rooks can do anything, I mean, what happens if we give up our rook for this bishop? The rook can just recapture. All right, this rook is kind of trapped in here. What can we do? What can we do? I don't know. I don't see any kind of good attack here. Do we just double up our rooks? Double up our rooks here, but then the queen can come in to help. Maybe here. All right, I don't know. That looks like the best thing to do is just double up our rooks on the F file. And no, they don't want that. All right, come on now. What? Is there some crazy move I'm missing? Check here, give up queens. The bishop would, I don't know, that doesn't look any good. Is there an attack on the king? I don't see anything. All right, we already got the problem wrong. Do they want us to sacrifice that? No. All right, here we go again. I just don't see any good move here that does anything for white. I hope you are finding something that I am not, because I just don't see anything. Okay. Would we double our pawns or rooks up here? No. Okay. I just don't see anything that is helping us. All right, maybe we move here and threaten to fork the queen and the king. So that is the move they wanted. All right, now if we do that, we can get an attack in on this bishop. So maybe that, and now we fork them. And all right, so we come out ahead. All right, I will end it there. I just had a bad day on these puzzles, but this video has gone on long enough, and I hope that you were able to find these problems and do better than I did. All right, well, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments or suggestions. And I apologize if these puzzles were too difficult, or maybe they were okay for you. All right, thank you everybody, and have a great day.